Well, it's almost the new year, finally. And I know that really that's just a day on the calendar, but it sure does help to have something that like marks that time and space so that we can do some fun things to move forward and hopefully make this next year a whole lot better than last year, knock on wood. What I'm going to do today is show you how to make a really easy simmer pot, like a simmer spout. So we've got spells and smells today. The thing that I like about working with these and working with the smells that just kind of permeate through your whole home is that it's this constant reminder of what you're doing, what you're working towards, what your intentions are, and it sort of helps envelop you with that energy and helps you to move into that energy yourself. For spells to really be powerful, we have to take them on and embody them. So if you are working for wealth, you need to become wealth. If you're working to get love, you need to become love. It's kind of a weird concept maybe for some of you, but it's really the best way I have found that when working magic to align yourself with those energies. So I've raided my spice cupboard, raided my fridge, and I've been thinking about some of the things that I personally want to bring to me and to my family, to a lot of my friends this next year. So I'm putting some things together to go in the pot, which will hopefully bring those things to us. The first thing I did was I grabbed a lemon. I love lemons. I love the smell of lemons. And if you think about how lemons affect you, like when you're cleaning, that's the same way it works magically. So if you use lemon, think about it as cutting and cleaning and clearing the pathways. So you're opening up the doors and you're opening up the pathways for that magic to get to you, but also for whatever you're doing to be able to clearly send it out into the world. So we're going to start by slicing up some lemons. I just get a few slices in here. Plus it looks so pretty. It's really pretty. And it smells so good. So we can get some of those going. And I want to start with that because like I said, it's like opening a door. So I'm going to be putting the lemons in and floating those in my pot. Already I can smell it. The next thing I'm going to go to is the orange. So whereas lemon is traditionally associated with the moon, the orange is like the sun. And so you're bringing that balance in with the night and the day, the moon and the sun. And oranges people tend to think of them as being uplifting and bringing joy, harmony, happiness. So those are some of the things that I certainly want in this next year. I want to fill up my year, my life, my everyday with so much joy. And even on those days where you can't exactly be joyful, at least maybe some appreciation, something to be grateful for. Fill it up so much that there's just no room left for the garbage. So I'm going to put in these lemon slices. Orange slices, before I got the lemons in there. And get those floating and going. And then I picked out a couple of spices. So the ones that I chose, cardamom and cloves. Really traditional warming scents. They're really more masculine. You associate them with masculine energies. I believe both are associated with the planet Jupiter. If you work with planetary alignments, I don't as much, but sometimes it's good to layer all of these things on. I really believe in that, and layering and layering and layering and building that energy that you want to attract to yourself or that you want to send out. So I'm going to start with cardamom. Cardamom is it's often used in love spells and for romance and lust and all those good things. Also for protection, luck, wealth. When I say wealth, let's throw them all in. Let's get a lot of that going. So I put in some of that, and then I'm gonna look over here at my cloves. I love cloves. I love the smell of cloves. I love making common balls. They're just this season. It's like this wintry smell It brings warmth when it's cold January. At least if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's cold January. The other thing I love about cloves is that they look like itty bitty nails. So just if you think about what you associate with nails, cloves are also frequently used for protection, for wealth and prosperity, for good luck, those things as well. Nails to me, I think about when you're constructing things, creating things, you're connecting things and making it stick and making them stay. So it's like building something that can house and hold you and your intentions and keep it safe and solid. It's this connector piece, you know, when you nail one thing to another. I mean, if you think about it, depending on what you're working with, you know, if you think about it, a nail, like a nail in someone's coffin, perhaps. But I'm not going there right now. I want to bring in good energy for the new year. Just something to keep in mind. There's lots of stuff you can do with cloves. So I'm going to add those to the simmer pot as well. And that looks really beautiful. Here's the next thing I'm going to do. You can write your intention, write your desires, write whatever it is you want, you're hoping for, to add to the pot. A lot of times people will do these on bay leaves. Bay leaves are awesome. I love them. Except I don't want that smell right now with what I have going in here, so I'm not going to use bay leaves. I could use the rind of an orange or a lemon and write something on the peel and just put that in as well. But what I did instead is I got some of this, Wilton makes these, I think some other brands make these. It's edible paper. So you've got these edible papers that people will put on cupcakes and cakes to decorate, you know, literally cut things out with them. So I've cut off a few pieces of this paper. And we're going to write our intention on here. And then it's going to get added to the pot. Because what happens with this paper then is that it dissolves into the pot. And it dissolves in with the oils and the herbs and the smells, and it's like incorporated into everything that you're doing. So it's releasing that energy and the spell out into the world through the steam. So I'm going to think of a really good one. Good health, actually. That's something that really want to work toward this year. Good health and happiness. This has been a long year, so I'm going to stick with good health and happiness for right now, and I'm going to add that to my pot. It'll probably sink right to the bottom at first, but it'll crumble up and it'll dissolve. You get this wonderful smell and aroma. At this point in time, what you can do is, you know, meditate over the pot while you're doing this. I would suggest, you know, as you're doing this, work in a quiet environment. Cleanse your space first. Work in a quiet environment. Focus on all of those things that you're doing and want to bring to you as you're doing this and as you're adding it to the pot. Focus on the pot for a while, and then when you're going through your day, you're going to smell this, and it's going to remind you of what you're doing and what you're working toward and what you were releasing out into the world. One other thing you can do is use the steam to scry in. So if you have some questions or you want to see how things are going or how your message is being received, you can do that as well. You kind of pump up the heat a little bit more, then simmer for a bit, and use that steam and do a little bit of scrying as well. It's a great way to start the new year. Something warm and comforting and good to bring to you. Give it a try, and if you try some other herbs,